According to Johns Hopkins medicine experts, over 20% of U.S. adults age 40 plus take 5 or more prescription drugs. We got some practical medication hacks to share with you all today, including the top medication apps. Stick around.
Welcome to Senior Care Made Simple, an elder care podcast, your guide to navigating home health care with confidence. Hosted by Andrea Albertini, founder and CEO of Horizon Care Services, an industry leader in private duty home care in South Florida. To learn more, visit horizoncareservices.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And, usually I say that because I don't know where and what time you all are listening to my podcast. So hello, everybody. This is Andrea Albertini with Senior Care Made Simple. Actually, I have a wonderful new co-host. Her name is Doris. And I got to tell you a little bit about how she came to our life, which was really exciting. And I'm excited to share with you all. So I was doing a presentation in one of our networking groups, and she absolutely fell in love with Horizon Care Services, Senior Services, our brand, our care, and all the things that we provide to our community. And she decided to join Horizon Care Services as our PR. And we're very lucky to have her. And now I'm so happy that she's now also joined our podcast. So Doris, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Thank you. I am so glad to be here. Doris Muscarella. I fell in love with Horizon Care Services, love them, think they're an amazing company, and the rest is history.
I love it. Today, Doris, I want to talk about when your loved ones get new medication. So here's the scenario that happens a lot, right? Mom and dad go to the doctor. Now, there's a change of condition, correct? So now there's new medication. Now, however, you got to understand there's medications at home that was not prescribed by that particular physician. So sometimes that's not communicated to the primary care physician. So one of the things that we see a lot in our business when it comes to the elderly is too many medications that one hand doesn't know about the other. So our Horizon Care Services here, we have a medication management and, that be able to prevent some of the medication's error. So we have a nurse who actually goes into the patient's home and look at all the medication. And if there's any discrepancy at all, it has to be discussed with the primary care physician or the other specialist.
Yeah, we're going to include a list of the best medication pill reminder apps for everybody to look at.
So when we go in to do medication management into mom and dad's house, there's so many different things that we do, from color code pill bottles, from use a different pill organizer for morning or nights, travel pack, how important it is, travel pack. Doris, nobody thinks about that, the travel pack. Like, nobody thinks about having a travel pack if you're going to travel. I mean, just because mom and dad are elderly doesn't mean that they don't travel, or maybe they're going to visit you in New York, go visit you in Massachusetts, whatever the case may be.
That's so important, especially in my case where my mom is 94 years old and we have 5 sisters. We take care of her like every other weekend we exchange. So we need a travel pack.
Absolutely. Especially when she comes to your house in Palm Beach, or she goes to another sister's of yours house. But nobody thinks about that. You always have to plan ahead when it comes to medication. So tell us how you and your sister organize her travel pack.
So we have a travel pack. It is color-coded. You just mentioned it. I know Horizon provides when they visit a particular patient, they bring in a travel pack also. So we have one of those. We have it color-coded. And before we take on that responsibility, we go over at a triage nurse or any kind of nurse, we just go over what is she taking, what time, what do we need to do. So that is so important. And another thing is, you got to keep some of the medication in room temperature or in the refrigerator.
Wow, I never thought about that.
It's very important if you have a travel pack and one of your medication requires that it be refrigerator or kept cool, make sure that you take an ice pack with the travel bag. That's really important also.
Absolutely.
Another thing that I want to mention is that on our phones, because we're 5 sisters, we have mom's history. So if we take turns in taking her to the primary care physician, we have a list of all the medications that she's taking. That's really, really important also.
Very, very important, because that will definitely avoid some medication error, right? But also, when they do get to the doctor may say, hey, listen, you're going to delete this medicine, and we're going to add this on. But I think that at that point, we still have to find out, you children, you're listening, you still have to find out, is there another doctor? Is that a cardiologist that your mom is seeing? Is that a neurologist that your mom is seeing? And be able to communicate with the other doctors about what's going on with the medicine for the primary care physician had just changed.
Absolutely.
It is so very, very important.
We also take a picture of all the medications, if there are new medications, and then we share it with all the sisters. I mean, we're 5 sisters. We're very different from each other. So it is very important that communication is clear. We want to make sure that everybody has the right information.
So many people go back in a hospital. So many people get admitted back into the hospital because of medication issues.
Also, keeping track of the medication, the time that they take them is also critical. Certain medications have to be taken in the morning. Certain medications have to be taken with food. So all of those things need to be noted down, especially in our case. I mean, as I said, we have 5 sisters in the Tri-Counties. It is very important that we keep the information up to date.
One of the things that we do at Horizon Care Services, it is going into a client's house. So sometimes we just do med management. We just go to the patient's house once a week, and we go over medication. We fill the pill box. If we have to renew the medication, we call the pharmacy. We have them renew the medication. We make sure the medication gets delivered. When the medication gets delivered, then we'll go back to the house. We'll put everything on a box, however arrangement that we have that's best for them. And just so you know something too, as you know, because you have your mother as well, is everybody's different. Some people need it to be bubble pack. There's bubble packs out there that they can just bubble pack all the medication, which is much easier. And even for travel, actually. The bubble packs are great to travel. Not every pharmacy does that, but a lot of the local pharmacies do. So inquire about that. So for some of you guys that doesn't know what a bubble pack is they put all the medication in one little bubble, right? So they will have the morning bubble and the night bubble, or they may have the morning and the afternoon and the night bubble. So, and it could be different medications throughout those bubbles. So they custom made according to what your needs are. So there's a lot of pharmacy who does that. So Doris, early you were talking about that you have a list of the top medication apps that's available out there. Please share with us.
Absolutely. I have a list of the top 5 medication pill reminder apps. The first one is called the angrypillbox.com. You got to see it. It's really, really awesome. There's metasafe.com, mytherapy.com, medminder.com, and dosecast.com. That's DOSECAST.com.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with the listeners. But now I wanted to talk about the 10 practical medication hacks that we're, more in details. And remember, we talked about the color code pill bottles. Using a different color sticker or rubber band for morning, afternoon, and evening meds to avoid mix-ups, especially helpful if you or a loved one take multiple prescriptions. That is so very important.
When you color code them, like put blue in the morning because the sky's blue and it's beautiful in the morning, pink in the afternoon, and orange because it's a sunset if you want for the evening meds to avoid any mix-ups.
And the other thing is use a 2-week pill organizer instead of one. Keep one for the current week and pre-fill the second right after you refill. This prevents those, did I take it? Moments. Actually, Doris, that happens to me all the time. I mean, I'm only 6 years old. And then sometimes I think, did I just take that pill? Then I have to go back and count the bottom. I mean, it's really bad. I have to count the bottom. I mean, I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with me? So even I, being in this business for so long, I also have problems with my medication as well, even though I only take 2. But it's still, sometimes I forget because I have so much going on. I take 1 pill in the morning, 1 pill in the evening. And sometimes there has been times that I took 2.
Oh, wow.
So it is so very important. And then pair meds with your daily habit. Anchor medication time to something you never forget, like brushing your teeth, making coffee, or feeding the dog. Now, I know one of my medication in the morning, I have to take it with empty stomach.
That's important that you make sure that you follow the requirements of the medication. I have to take my medication with food, so I make sure that I take it after breakfast.
Exactly. Now, going back to Travel Pack. Travel Pack is not just for your parents. It's for you too. Because sometimes, I take vitamins. You take vitamins. We all take vitamins.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't have prescription medication, just for your vitamins.
And also, I don't know about you, but in Florida, I take a water bottle all the time in the car because it is so hot. So it's important that if you have a travel pack, you can also put in a little water bottle in there so you could take your medication too.
Absolutely. The other thing that I think is very important, especially we all have very busy lives, no matter how old you are, set your alarm. Sometimes it's better to set up 2 reminders because sometimes, even if I set an alarm for my grill, if I'm grilling something and I get into something else, I totally forget. Especially, like I said, we're so busy, with work and everything else. So for any age, actually. But of course, for mom and dad, it's hard to do that.
I have Siri on my phone, and I put the whole entire week of appointments that I have. And I tell Siri, remind me at this time for this, remind me at this time for that. And I do it once a week, and it goes off all the time. So Siri, Alexa, the apps, all of these are great tools for reminders to take the medication.
And you know what I do sometimes? So if you only have a little vitamin, CVS sells those little packs. Do you ever see those little Ziploc bag?
Yes.
And those are usually good for younger people. You know what I mean? If you have 3 or 4 vitamins a day that you take, and they have those little tiny Ziploc bags at CVS, and you buy it. It's cheap. And you buy them and you put your whatever medication that you want in there, especially the vitamins. I usually do that every morning. Sometimes I can't.
I have a case and it's got to have bling bling on it and it says reminder. Oh, no. It has to be beautiful for me. So I do have one in my purse, but it's beautiful.
Oh, wow. I'm not that fancy. That's why she does PR, you guys. Everything have to be bling, 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 bling. I love it. I can't stand it. That's so cute, Doris. I love it. The other thing that we mentioned that before, photograph your pill bottles. I don't care how old you are. Please do it, because even if you are young and you take maybe 1 or 2 medication, you go to the doctor. What medication you take? I don't know. I left my bottles at home. Or if you're taking mom and dad to the doctor, or mom and dad went in a hospital, God forbid, you do have the photos of their pill bottle with you.
And you have the name of the pharmacy and you have the name of the doctor and dosage, which is very important sometimes when the doctor's asking you, what do you take? Where do you, how many milligrams? That's very important if you have it on your phone.
Actually, you just mentioned something about milligrams. So sometimes I do know what I take, but I never remember the milligrams. So now the other thing I want to mention is avoid the double dose mistake. If you forget to take your medication, this is when your medication app will come very handy for you because it will tell you if you took it or not. Keep the medicine in the right spot, not in the bathroom. Keep it next to the first thing you do in the morning. The first thing I do in the morning for me, I have a glass of water next to my bed, right? And the first thing I do is I have my morning meds right there that I have to take with empty stomach. If you do have to take it with food, take your medication and put it in a kitchen where what are you going to do the first thing in the morning? Are you going to the coffee pot or you're going to get yourself a tea, or you're going to make yourself eggs. What are you doing the first thing in the morning? Your medication should be in the front of where you're going to do the first thing you go to in the morning so you can remember.
I want to point out that the main reason we don't keep it in the bathroom is because of the moisture and the heat from the showers can downgrade the medications. Store in a cool, dry place like a bedroom, drawer, or kitchen cabinet.
I think the kitchen is always the best place to put it. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where it's dry, there's no moisture, there's no heat.
Exactly. And it's right there close to the refrigerator that you can get a bottle of water or milk. Some people take it with milk because of their stomach. So it's however you take it. But just please make sure that you keep it where you remember. And keep it out of the bathroom, please. You can also ask the pharmacy about bubble pack. Some of them do, some of them don't. If you have a local pharmacy, most likely they are to do it more so than a CVS or a Walgreens or a Rite Aid, wherever you are. Just Google local pharmacy near me, and most likely those non-franchises or a big corporation, they are good in doing that. Ask your pharmacist to sync your refills, to align the refill dates so you pick up your prescription in one trip. Less hassle and fewer missed doses. Now, usually a lot of pharmacies deliver your meds for you. As I think CVS has a delivery. I think Walgreens have a delivery services. But always remember your local owned pharmacy. It would be the best for you to get your prescription from, and most of them do deliveries, so you don't have to worry about it. Especially like if you live out of town and you're trying to manage your parents' medication from far away, that would be a great thing for you to be able to connect yourself with the local pharmacy who deliver the meds for your loved ones.
You can also create on a particular pharmacist, let's say Walgreens, you can create your own profile, and in that profile, you could put in your preferences if you have time or you want to do it for your parents. That way, their medications are delivered to their front door and they don't have to worry about refills or anything. They contact the doctor when there is a refill needed, which is important.
No, absolutely. And it is so important for everybody to be also up to date with their physician. Now, at Horizon Care Services, we own a mobile physician services. So usually sometimes client will just call here because they're sick, they don't feel good, and they don't want to, they can't get an appointment with their doctor for the next 2 or 3 weeks, where we can send one of our medical professionals there, usually within 24 hours. Oh, actually, we just celebrated 21 years.
Yes.
Last week.
Yes.
We have serviced more than 15,000 seniors.
I was asking about that.
I know.
15,000, that's a really good number.
Isn't it awesome?
Amazing.
We made difference in those people's life.
I would love to hear their stories and read them in the podcast. If you're listening to this and you have a story that you want to talk about, please send it to seniorcaremadesimplepodcast@gmail.com, and we will read it on the air just for you.
And a lot of people said to me, when are you going to retire? I said, I'm not going to retire. This is my life. My life has been taking care of seniors for the last 40 years. And I will do for as long as I can, because if I can make a difference in your parents' life or your life, whoever's listening to, I'm happy. That really satisfies me a lot. And so does my staff. My staff is awesome.
Like Gandhi said, be the difference you want to see in the world.
That's for sure. Share love. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to one more episode of Senior Care Made Simple. You can also find us in YouTube. Search for Horizon Care Services and you will find us. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. And Doris, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're here sharing this special time with me.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. I'll see you next time, everybody.
Senior Care Made Simple, an elder care podcast, has been brought to you by Horizon Care Services, your private duty choice in home care in South Florida. For more information on acquiring home care assistance, visit horizoncareservices.com.